Hi, I'm Bet from Bet's Makes, and today we're going to use Slice to make some cutouts in some greeting cards. This is a really simple process, and you're just going to love it. You'll be able to pick any pattern you want and slice things out on a card, but I'll show you a couple of tips and tricks along the way. So the first thing we want to do is start a new project in Design Space. So let's get ready. So here we are in Design Space. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the outline of a card and put the score line in place. That's the first thing we're going to do. And then right after that, we're going to bring in a couple of designs that we're going to use to punch out in that card. So let's start by going over to Shapes. Let's pick on a square. I'm just going to bring it over here so you can see it. I'm going to change the color by coming up to Line Type. Now I'm going to hit the unlock here, so let's hit unlock. That allows me to change the size of it. You'll notice there is a lock at the top here as well, and that one is also unlocked. So we're going to have a 5.5 inch card, which means we're going to have 5.5, 10, 11 inches here. So I'm just going to type in 11. Now for the depth, because I like to use a half a sheet of paper, you can't quite do 6 inches. If you did, you wouldn't be able to get two cards in one place. So we're going to go 5.5 inches deep here. So we'll just do 5.5. That looks pretty good. Let's click on the lock. You can click it up here or down here. That makes it perfect. One last thing, we need to add a score line here. So let's go to our shapes. Click on the score line. Now it's over here. We're just going to bring it over. And we want that score line to be the same height as our card, so we're going to make it 5.5. And that's just typing it in up here on the sizing instead of trying to guess. That looks pretty good. So let's highlight over both of them. We're going to center it, so we're going to come up here to Align. Click on the Align. We're going to center it horizontally, so it's centered this way. And vertically, so now it's also up and down. Last thing we want to do is I'm just going to group them together. Make sure they're selected. I'm not going to attach at that point because we want to do some treatment on this. I'm just going to move it over. So next thing we want to do is find something where we can punch a hole in it so we can see something in behind. Now let's go to our uploads. I had a file, and this one is called Reindeer and Sleigh. You can find that in my resource library as well. And we're just going to pick on that one, and we're going to insert the image. Now they're pretty big. I'll just move them over to the side here a little bit. I am going to ungroup them because I just want to take them one at a time. Now we might want to have a couple of things, so let's have a deer here perhaps, and maybe we'll add the sleigh. These are two different items we can have on here. We could have more if we want, but maybe a deer and a sleigh seem to be fine. So what we want to do now is we want to punch out those designs so that there's a hole in the card. That means it'll just cut the design out. So what you need to do after you even cut that is put in either an inner part of your card or a small piece that's going to attach to it later. Now when you slice, you can only pick two things at a time. So I'm going to pick the sleigh and the deer, and this is a little trick. I'm going to come down here below the layers panel, and I'm going to weld those two things together. That means they're one piece. Take a look at your layers panel. It says they're one piece, it's one cut. So now I can select over these two, and it doesn't want to give us the slice, and that is because the thing in behind is grouped. So let's take that group off, and let's take this and arrange it and send it to the back. Now what I can do is take those two things, that is the cut piece and the card. You can see the two in the layers panel here. Now I can click on Slice, and I'm just going to pull those two apart, and you'll notice that it outlines them here. What you're going to do is you can either move the card or you can move these out of the way. I'm just going to hit Control Z because what I want to do, oh, it just wants to move the card for me. Okay, we'll take them this way. I'm going to have to send this to the back again. So let's arrange center back, because we want to put our centers together. Now we're not going to do anything else with this, so it's probably good time to align those again. We're going to align them horizontally and vertically. Now that looks pretty good. Now this time I'm going to attach everything together. And there we go. We have a card with a couple of cutouts. And we have extra pieces that we can use later on. Well, we don't need those, so I'm just going to delete them now. I'm not going to use them. Now the best thing is to have something that will go in behind the deer and the sleigh. Now you could have two different colors. You could put it right down the side. You have a triangle going in one for one color or another. Or you can simply just have an inside of a card. Now, in order to do that, click on your shapes. Let's pick on the square. Let's change it to red. And I'm going to unlock it. This time I'm just going to eyeball it a little bit, because what I want to do is just make sure it fits on the inside here. It's not the same size, which is good. All right, that looks pretty good. I am going to lock it. Now the other thing I need to do is add a score line to this one as well. So let's go over to the shapes. Let's pick up a score line. And we're going to eyeball it for the score. Now if I click on the card here, it's going to tell me how high it is, and it's 5.264. I'm just going to copy that. Click on the score line. I'm going to highlight that and paste it. So now they are both the same size. Now once again, you're always going to love this align. You're going to go align center horizontally, align vertically. Looks perfect. Highlight both those and attach them. So now you have a card that will go in behind and you'll see. So let's bring this one to the front just so you can see it. So when you put that one in behind, that's exactly what you're going to see. So that's all there is to making cutouts. Just find a shape, cut it out. Now the only warning I have, if a shape has an oval in the middle, you have to have it some way attached to the outside or it'll just fall apart. Anyways, this is a Christmas card one. I hope you really enjoyed doing this. And until next time, happy crafting.